Welcome to Updweller, where smarter home upgrades start. I'm Kim, and today we're talking about PUR versus ZeroWater filters. And before we get into the water filters and the pictures, we're going to compare how they filter the water, what contaminants each one of them removes, the filter lifespan, the taste, and which one makes more sense for your home. So let's get started. First, we're going to talk about the brands. PUR has been in the water filtration product business for over 35 years. Their pitchers use activated carbon combined with ion exchange materials. The carbon targets chlorine, the taste, and the odor. The ion exchange component goes after heavy metals like lead and mercury, and this results in cleaner, better tasting waters with the minerals still included. ZeroWater uses a 5-stage ion exchange filtration system that removes dissolved solids from the water entirely. And this is where the mineral parts come in. That also removes the metals, minerals, and the salts. You'll probably see, or you'll probably recognize ZeroWater technology. They're part of the Culligan family now, and Culligan was a brand, or is a brand, that actually does home delivery water bottle service. And now they're in the filtration business with ZeroWater technology. So ZeroWater will include a TDS meter in all of their products, and that TDS stands for total dissolved solids. And every product, as I mentioned, includes one of these meters, and that's where you're going to see what's being removed, or the total dissolved solids being removed from the water, and also that's going to help you with the filter and knowing when you're going to change that out. So let's talk about which each filter and brand, what they removed. This section has a lot of numbers and certification codes, so I'm going to be reading a little bit from my script here so I don't miss anything. So if you see my eyes kind of go back and forth, that's why. So first we're going to start with some acronyms. NSF, and that stands for the National Sanitation Foundation, and ANSI stands for American National Standards Institute. Together, they are a set that tests standards and they verify the filters actually do what the brand claims. Independently, they're not just by the company's own testing. So PUR is certified to 3 of those standards. NSF ANSI 42, which covers chlorine, the taste, and the odor. They also cover NSF ANSI 53, which covers health-related contaminants like lead and mercury. And finally, NSF ANSI 401, which covers emerging contaminants like certain pharmaceuticals and pesticides. So one thing to know, the PUR Plus filter also reduces microplastics, but they are not certified PFAS for forever chemicals. Their faucet mount filters are, and that covers up to 70 contaminants that are being removed from the water. So if that's a concern, that faucet water mount is going to be your best bet there versus the filter. So ZeroWater is independently certified to reduce 99.7% of the total PFAS under NSF and ANSI. So those forever chemicals under NSF and ANSI 53. And they are certified for 26 contaminants total being removed. That includes lead, chromium-6, pharmaceuticals, and pesticides. If PFAS removal is a priority and you want it in a pitcher, ZeroWater is the one with that certification. So I know that was a lot of numbers and a lot of acronyms. Now we're going to talk about the filter life and replacements. So PUR pitcher filters are rated for 40 gallons or roughly 2 months per filter, regardless of the local water quality. The schedule is pretty predictable, and select models have the LED indicator, and it's really, they also include in their packaging a water filter exchange kind of reminder, and you can stick that sticker onto your filter or your water pitcher and know when it's time to change based on your date and when you put that filter in. ZeroWater is a bit more variable. They estimate filters can last up to 6 months based on filtering 11 8-ounce glasses of water per day under average conditions. But the filter life depends heavily on your tap water's TDS. Remember, that's total dissolved solids. In some areas with hard or high mineral water, some people have reported, I saw this on Reddit, that they've had to replace their filters every few weeks. And that meter on the outside of your ZeroWater pitcher, the TDS meter, is going to tell you when it's time to remove that filter. But that helps remove the guesswork, but the factor is that you could be paying higher replacement costs if the TDS levels are higher in your area. Now talking through taste, ZeroWater removes everything, including natural occurring minerals like calcium and magnesium, plus 99.7% of fluoride. The water is very pure, but a lot of people find that taste is very flat. PUR, on the other hand, retains those minerals, so the taste stays a little bit closer to what most people are used to. They also offer a MineralClear filter that runs water over natural minerals for even a cleaner, clearer, kind of crisp taste without stripping it. So I've been using my PUR pitcher and the water filter, and it tastes better than my refrigerated water filter. But that's my personal experience. The taste is very subjective, but it is a real factor when you're pouring from the pitcher multiple times a day. Okay, and now we're going to talk about filtration speed and size speed. My PUR 8-cup pitcher fills and filters water in under 5 minutes. It's really fast. ZeroWater's 5-stage process takes longer based on user reports. If you're refilling several times a day, that time difference does really add up and kind of can be a little bit annoying when you're just wanting a glass of water. Okay, and now we're going to talk about product size. PUR has pitchers that range from 7 to 12 cups up to 30 to 44 cup dispensers and their faucet mounts in multiple styles and finishes. ZeroWater has 10 and 22 cup pitchers and dispensers from 20 to 32 cups and a 5-gallon cooler dispenser. I went with one of PUR's smaller pitchers because refrigerator space is kind of limited, especially I'm living with 2 teens, and a small size pitcher really fits easily on my door without having to, kind of move a bunch of things around in my fridge to let a big water pitcher fit there. So, which one do you choose? It comes down to actually what's in your water. So, you're going to choose ZeroWater if PFAS removal is a priority, those forever chemicals, and you want a pitcher. Also, if your area has a documented heavy metal contamination or high TDS levels. You want to verify the filter performance though with the TDS meter to just be sure. And you're also fine with variable water filter replacements, and you don't mind that flatter tasting water. Again, water taste is pretty subjective, and I think really the important factor is what you're actually removing from your water in terms of those forever chemicals and where you live and the minerals and so on. So you're going to choose PUR if you want a predictable filter replacement schedule. Also, you want minerals and fluoride still retained in your water. Taste and filtration speed matter to you, and you want more size and cup options in your pitchers. Also, the water faucet attachments, the mounts, they come in so many different styles and options, and that covers the PFAS and up to 70 contaminants removed. So before buying either filter, you're going to want to pull your city's consumer confidence report. That's basically your water report, and the utility publishes one every year listing the detected contaminants by name. You can also check by zip code with the Environmental Working Group, and they have a searchable tap water database, and that is at ewg.org. So knowing what's in your water is really going to point you to the right filter. I know that was a lot of information, a lot of numbers, a lot of acronyms, and I hope you found this comparison helpful. We want to help you make your house feel more like a home. So if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and let us know in the comments what you'd like to see next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.